Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pear Pod. Back for another week. The grind never stops. It will never, ever stop. Coming to you on a very sunny Thursday afternoon, 2:30. At 2:30. Yeah, what kind of week's it been? Been a very interesting week. First and foremost, I'm seeing a lot of things on TikTok, right? A lot of guys putting up overnight oats. Overnight oats, is it a dessert or is it breakfast? Is it after dinner before bed? Because I'm seeing Oreo bits. There's Oreo bits, and there's fucking caramel swirl overnight oats. And like, lads, you're doing more harm than good, surely. Like, just because you put some oats in there with, 3 Mars bars and a fucking bag of crisps, like, they don't cancel each other out. It's madness. Just because you eat a piece of celery and, a full Easter egg, the two don't cancel each other out. It's not considered healthy. So sorry, Kino 25 on TikTok, who's going after that summer bod and wants to go out and, do fucking whippets in Marley Park listening to Versatile. Hope I haven't alienated anyone. Welcome back, everyone. Lovely little opening there. I went out for Valentine's Day with Myrn down to a place called Breathe in Portabanús. My brother was nice enough to get me a voucher, and the only reason I'm going to tell you how much the voucher was for is because the story is it's the final number is important. So he got us a voucher for €200, which is very, very generous, and we were very excited to go do it. Heard very good things about this restaurant, so we go in there, and I'm like, £200, Jesus, we'll barely knock half of that off with a dinner, I'm not like neither a huge eaters. I was like, I'm going to go get a steak and we'll get something good. But, like, how the fuck do you knock off £200? We're going to have a few drinks and all that. But anyway, we probably had 4 gin and tonics each, maybe. Maybe I might have had 3, she had 3 or something. And I had a steak, we had some dessert, she had some food. And so we asked for the bill. You don't say, excuse me, the bill, you just kind of put the hand up and... Can I just... Merci. Merci. So it came over. I was like, what are we going to do with all the change? Whip open the, it comes in a little... Just got to pop it in the Christmas box. But you said you wanted it to get wrapped. What are you going to do? Yes, I did, but... What are you going to do with it next? Fill it with chocolate buttons? No, sir. It is but the matter of a moment. What else? What else do you do? Hold on. No, just a little bit of holly. No bloody holly. No, forget it. Can we be quite quick? Protissimo. Yes, the bill comes over. I open up the little box, they give it to you, and just give me the fucking receipt, or the bill, you prick. Do you know what I mean? I don't need to go through, I don't play your games. All right, you're about to take all my cash, but I didn't feel great pulling out the voucher as it is. It's not the sexiest thing on Valentine's Day. Do you need the card, sir? I'm actually just gonna unfolding it 8 times because I folded it into my wallet. Yes, you can just have that. Anyway, bill comes $2.18 or something, man. And I'm like, my fucking dick falls off. Sorry, that's inappropriate. But Jesus, man. So the bill comes. I did not think I was going to have to dig into my wallet this evening. I had a crisp 20 in my wallet. That's gone. Chuck that in. €18 a gin and tonic. €18. That's like I didn't ask for the gin and tonic and the hand shandy. Do you know what I mean? Hold the shandy. I just want the gin. I'm quite €18 here would get you a 70 CL of Gordon's in the shop, and I'm paying that per gin and tonic. Oh God, it's got to be illegal. Like, anyway, won't be doing that again. Oh, I found a new tattoo artist. No offense to my last guy, but this guy's slightly more legitimate. His shit's actually fucking incredible. And I went in to meet him, and I can tell by his cost. First by his location, second by his cost. That he is definitely more professional. Anyway, we're doing a sick little, starting this arm now. This one's basically done. So we're going on to the left arm. Getting a little forearm piece. Very excited. Next week I'm actually returning to Dublin. Hopefully there's not droves of people at the air. Don't come out to the airport, you know. I presume there'll already be a big, you know, parade or something. But yeah, I'm coming back for my brother's birthday, so I'll be back for like 4 days. And I'm actually buzzing. I haven't gone on the piss in Jesus Christ since Christmas. So this will be interesting. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, it'd be nice to go back, just a little 4-dayer there and back, and then back to the fucking grind. But yeah, we've got an exciting show. That was a very long intro, 7 minutes. Christ. The overnight oats thing. Okay, this is funny. I saw this challenge, right? And I'd love if everyone in the comment section would kind of give me yours. This is like a fuck, marry, kill, but it's just better. It's not that. And I'd love to hear how you guys would do it. All right, basically, right? It's the challenge is called 6, 12, 18, 24. Now, basically what you have to do is you have to choose an amount, either 6, 12, 18, 24, and you have to, your 4 options are miles ran, we'll say self-pleasure sessions, we all know what we're talking about, boys, and ladies, everyone, donuts eaten, and beers consumed. Now, I think it's bottles of beer. That's the challenge that I saw. It was actually Dave Portnoy, the Barstool guy. He did this first and I saw it from that. But man, it's actually tough, right? So, first of all, miles ran is fucking killer. So, it's supposed to be done in a 24-hour period, right? So, okay, here's what I'm thinking. Here, let's throw out the things first. I can't do any more than 6 self-pleasure sessions. I'm not 14 anymore. So that's 1 done. 6 self-pleasure sessions. Oh man. I have to do the 12 miles next. Because I can't run 6 miles, let alone 12. I could probably walk the 6 miles. I think you just have to get the 12 miles done, like cover 12 miles over the 24 hours. So I can do that, like. So oh God. Okay, yeah. So I got to do the 12. I'll do 12 miles. Then if it's bottles of beer, I can sink. I definitely in the past would have fancied myself to do it. That's a crate. It's a crate of beer. I'm backing myself to be able to sink 24 beers in 24 hours. So you can put me down for that. And that leaves me with 18 donuts. I'm presuming they're big, glistening, like moist fuckers from like, like a Krispy Kreme, honey dipped or something. So yeah, I'm hoping that's what it is. And I'd take 18 of those. No bother, man. No bother, hey. Yeah. So yeah, that's excellent. Like, you can't have raspberry ripple overnight oats. Do you know what I mean? Stop putting ice cream and all in it. It's just these fad things. The fad stuff pisses me off. Like, stop putting Terry's chocolate orange and fucking Haribo in your fridge overnight with some oats and milk. Do you know what I mean? Crazy people. Gotta chase that life though, chase that pod. Beat it 2022. About to go off. Yeah, let me know what you guys would do. for that challenge. It's very interesting. Yeah, like I think so. Dave Portnoy attempted this, and he went for 18. He attempted 18 tugs, 18 tuggies. Like that's fucking blister territory. Like Jesus, lever dull, lads, lever dull. Like, so yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a longer. Let me see if I have anything else to discuss with my people before we go. I've got a really good outro song this week. Very excited to do it. Part of my childhood, and I was thinking, it's actually tough because like I like a certain, I need a little bit of a longer. I like a little bit of an acoustic intro to give me some time to do my goodbyes before we hit it. Goodbye, goodbye, good friends, goodbye. Tomorrow is not today. The moon, the bear, and the big blue house will be seeing you very soon, I know. Very soon, I know. Goodbye, goodbye. What's that called? Shifting the melody guitar. Oh, let's harmonize to a new key today. The moon, the bear, and the big blue house will be seeing you very soon. I know, I'll be seeing you very soon. I know. Nice. I love that show, man. One of the great childhood shows. Very vividly remember watching that show. And I actually saw on TikTok the other day, when you see, is it TikTok or YouTube? I saw one of it where they go through like 90s kids who really did this. And it was just the ending when he's at the top of the house with the moon. Luna. Is that her name? Good show. Good show. Good show. Yeah, so I had a few things I wanted to discuss. I've been waiting to do a Sugar Sean O'Malley episode for a while. For a number of reasons. One, while I was around for the Conor McGregor era, I wasn't there. Like I wasn't a diehard fan. I wouldn't say I'm a diehard fan now. I wasn't as big a fan when he was fighting like Marcus Brimage and on the come up. And if I had been a McGregor fan, then I like the way Paddy Pimblett's come in, or like Ian Gary, I'd be like, fuck, McGregor's coming in. So I kind of missed that. But I think we're looking at the same thing with the Sugar Show. And for people who don't know, he's a fighter out of Arizona. You will know who he is if you know. But I'll put a picture up here. Definitely recognizable, like marketing dream. But he is a fighter from Arizona. He came up on Dana White's Contender Series, like knocked a dude out, like emphatically. And they had Snoop Dogg was like, "O'Malley, Sugar Shane." They call him Sugar Shane instead of Sugar Sean, and he just embraces that, and it's funny. And like obviously, he came up through there, and the dude just fucking very. I guess like his look, he had like the crazy hair and stuff. He's got like he's tatted up and all that shit, and like weed smoker and all that kind of stuff. Weed smoker, absolutely disgraceful. But he came up on the Contender Series and then just started knocking people out, man. And the difference, what he's done now, which you see out fucking every fighter now, is he started an online presence right at the start. Like literally right at the start. Like he started streaming on Twitch, YouTube channel, podcast. And he's leveraged the UFC's platform perfectly. So like through all the knockouts, obviously highlights are going out. UFC's 13 million on YouTube or whatever is filled with Sugar Sean O'Malley highlights. He's fighting a lot. He's winning in emphatic fashion. He has the look, all that stuff. And what he's done, fucking basically, if you hear him talk now, he's saying that the money he makes on the side is far more than he's making from fighting through his merch, Twitch streams, podcast sponsors, income from the shows itself, stuff like that. And like, could you imagine if McGregor had a podcast the whole way up through his career? Now I get for McGregor, it actually probably built the aura a little bit more. The fact that he didn't like have any, like he doesn't even, like he never did interviews, barely. So when he did do one, I get that. So when he does do one, you're like, oh shit. So I guess those are the two ways to go. But you either go all in or you don't, or like going down the Sean route, because like the Connor route only works for Connor. Do you know what I mean? So what Sugar's done is get fucking, you know, 250,000 on YouTube, puts up regular content, has sponsors, he sells a fuck ton of merch, marks himself in with the Nelk boys, all that shit, and then he's a knockout artist. So I think Izzy, Sean and Hamzat are my like lads for this year. Let me just think. Oh, by the way, Rob, if you're listening to this, so weird I just call how small does the podcast have to be for me to call out my listeners by name to ask them to do stuff like it's a fucking WhatsApp group. But that's what it is. It's essentially a WhatsApp group, this channel, with 81 members. 82, 81 or 82. I check every day. It's 82. I don't ever miss a day. Get out of my head. Yeah, so this, like, I'm thinking now for, is there anyone else? No, those are probably the big three. I think Izzy can go on now, just signed that huge contract with the UFC, obviously signed with Paradigm, which is Connor's, also manages Connor. So Izzy's contract is obviously going to be fucking crazy. Or it's not fucking crazy, but I've heard him, like, there's talks of 7 million he made there for that fight. I don't know if that's true. But that is a number that's being thrown around, and that's where it should be. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. It could have been 7 million for the whole contract. Who fucking knows these days? Depending on how many fights it is. But Sean is very much at the start of this journey now, and what he's doing is essentially documenting the whole thing and building his fan base the whole time. Sorry, the reason I was calling Rob, I'd love to get a contributor for the show. So like, WhatsApp me or like voice note me your top 3 most exciting prospects, and I'll go over them next week. Because it's very interesting. I think Ian Guy's next fight's got announced, so that could be big. But I think he's still, you know, he's probably 2 years behind Sugar, depending on how much work he does now. But I'd say about there. And now this run for Sugar, he's going to fight in July, and then the end of the year. The way the 135 division looks now, he's 2 fights away, 2 emphatic wins away, maybe 1 depending on what happens, but because of the Figueiredo stuff. Sorry, that's 25. 35 is PDon. So it's PDon, Aljamain Sterling. God, you have to clock your head into those spots. Yeah, so it's PDon, Aljamain Sterling, Corey Sandhagen, TJ Dillashaw, fuck, Jose Aldo. Oh, stacked. 135 is stacked. Jesus, Sean O'Malley versus like Jose Aldo or something. See, he won't get that fight. He's like 15th now, so he needs to fight a few more people. I'm actually just going to pull up the bantamweight division for a second, because anyone who gives a shit about UFC will actually, this would be interesting to see what potential, because this is what they do, man. They literally look at the like, whoever's, I think it's Mick Maynard who does the 35ers. So he's going in and he's like, okay, who do we have here in this rankings? And he's like, who can we give Sugar against that's going to give him, you know, challenge and still move him up, has to be ahead of him. Oh, I just saw one that makes, okay, I've got a couple here. PDN is number 1. Aljamain Sterling, they're going to fight again. That's booked. TJ Dillashaw just beat Corey Sandhagen. Sandhagen lost to Peter Yan. Jose Aldo is number 4. Corey Sandhagen number 5. Rob Font 6. Marlon Vera 7. Marab Dviashvili 8. Dominic Cruz, Marlon Moraes, Frankie Edgar, Pedro Munoz, Sugar Sean. Sugar Shane? Okay, so listen here. Jeez, it's tough, bro. I'd love like Dominic Cruz, Sugar Sean makes a lot of sense, but Dominic's looking higher than that. Who's coming off a loss? Is Marlon Moraes coming off a loss? Yeah, Marlon Moraes lost 3 on the bounce. Marlon Moraes and Sugar Sean could be a good fight. Absolute motherfucker of a fight for Sugar. But that makes sense coming off a loss. But for Sugar now, like, if he becomes champ, I think he's going to I think that the system he has set up now at home, his content is systematic now. So his content is just going to continue to grow. If he has the UFC career he's talking about for like another 10 years of fighting, he could fucking blow up, man. And like, it would be sick to have a champion. Like, look at Izzy now. He's so accessible with all the content he does. And it's a nice, and look at what it's doing to his profile. Do you know what I mean? You can't all have the McGregor effect and just be an entity that people like can't wait to hear from. So, let me see if is O'Malley's fight spoken about. Sean O'Malley next fight. Mm-hmm. So apparently, it hasn't been, the time of June, July hasn't been announced yet. So yeah, hopefully the guy goes on, has a fucking like huge career. He's definitely got the style. He's like the perfect shape. Like the fact he makes 135 and he's got the same, I heard some stat, he's got the same arm length or reach as like some heavyweights or some or like some long middleweights or something, which is which is it's like for 135, it's just a very different shape for 135 than people are used to. So looking forward to seeing him go on a run. You have a fan here, Sugar. Also Ian Gary. Those two boys. Let's go. So what are we at? 22. So we might as well quickly talk about 271. You know our love was meant to be. Sorry, that note is far too high. Kind of love to last forever. And I want you here with me. From tonight until the end of time. So 271 last week, it was Izzy, Rob Whittaker, and Tai Bam Bam Tuivasa, and Derek Lewis. I think I went 2 for 2 last week. I think I said Izzy'd get it done and Ty'd get it done. Not like hardly picking, you know. The Ty thing was a semi-surprise. Derek Lewis is done, I think, man. No, like, dude, the guy's a fucking animal, but that was, you know, Ty took some serious shots there and like was able to weather the storm, and then at the end he seemed to have nothing left. Like, that elbow was so clean. And I feel bad. I was in Houston again, man. He lost again in front of his home crowd. Jesus. I hope he got a decent new I hope he has a good contract and he made some good money from those fights, because I think that's the thoughts of a championship run done, in my opinion. Obviously the heavyweights can go longer, but there's a lot of fresh blood in its way up, and he's lost to, you know, a lot of the lads up at the top there. So and the main event, like, it wasn't anything crazy. Izzy dropped Whittaker in the first round, and then that was kind of it. Whittaker 1-2 on most of the judges' scorecards. But the fight was, you know, definitely slow in the first one. Rob was definitely more tentative, which, like, Izzy is the best when you have an over-aggressive guy coming at him. So as people fight him and people see him fighting, they're going to start to realise that we can't go in hard and try and, you know, be the aggressor, because his counter is so good. So you end up with two lads just kind of fainting at each other. We saw Izzy affect, like, you know, on the ground he was able to defend himself. No major damage done there, and that's probably the end of the Bobby Knuckles and Izzy Adesanya little beef. And Cannonier won as well. Was that on the undercard as well? Crazy. If it was, that was a good card. Cannonier knocked out Derek Brunson fucking brutally, man. Jesus, those elbows on the ground. If you ever want to get into MMA, watch Jesus, watch that final sequence before Derek Brunson's out and they see the towel thrown in. Very rarely see the towel thrown in MMA because it ends, like, usually there's not a lot of, like, in boxing you can get back up after, like, you have 10 seconds to recover. You can't get back to semi operational in 10 seconds, but in MMA, like, you have to be able to defend yourself at all times or it's just stopped. So the fact that they were like, holy shit, get that towel in there, and he was just whash, 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 spiky little elbows. So yeah, leads or sets up Cannonier and Izzy very nicely. I guess that's the like, yeah, kind of arsed, kind of not arsed as well. Yeah, like I think it'll be much more of a stand-up fight, which I'm definitely for. I love that, and I think Izzy will have some different problems. Jared's a big motherfucker, but again, I think the same thing happens, man. I think we're coming into an era, or like continuing in an era, and there's not a lot of middleweights coming through. Maybe Hamzat comes in, just fucking eats them. That would be interesting. Yeah, so we'll see what happens, folks. But it was an interesting week. What do I have going on this week? Not much. With chillaxing, I'm going home next Thursday, so I have to get a little bit of work done in advance so I can enjoy that time. But other than that, no other major headlines. I would ask that you follow the Pear Pod Instagram because it is absolutely bursting with content, quality content, bristling at the seams with quality. No, but it would help me out if you guys would. It helps me just fucking build a little bit of an audience so people can be like, oh, there's an episode live. You know the deal. Subscribe to the channel. As always, you know I say I was checking anything else. In terms of, I'm going to do a pod next week, even though I'm at home. I'll just line it up before I leave, so I'll film it early next week, and we will. Kell Brook and Amir Khan are boxing this weekend, and it's actually fucking in the UK, so we can get a decent time to watch it. So excited to watch that. Hopefully Kell Brook gets it done. Team Kell Brook, and going to potentially talk to my client Joe to come on and do a little boxing feature on the pod, talk about some stuff. Guys like sparred at like some big names, and he's been in with a lot of he's been some big events and stuff, so he obviously has some good stories. And I have lots of questions about boxing in general. So with all of that being said, it's another week to get better. Thank you all for listening. Well, I'm rumbling in this JCB. I'm 5 years old, my dad's a giant sitting beside me. And the engine rattles my bum like berserk while we're singing, don't forget your shovel if you want to go and work. My dad's probably had a bloody hard day, but he's been good fun and